Hello and welcome to another poll review. Another 7 polls down, another 7 results to check out. Bringing the YouTube fam to the Twitch fam, and the Twitch fam back to the YouTube fam. That's the drill. Let's get straight into the data with thousands upon thousands of Gwent players voicing their opinions to the people. Let's see what we got. First question I asked 6 days ago now. If you could nerf or change one of these cards, which would you pick? And this one I thought was super interesting. So Meditating Mage is by far the big standout, right? Everyone is sick of the Mage. They don't like the spawning. They don't like all that craziness that comes with the Meditating Mage. And I can't blame them because even I get annoyed if I'm like, well, like when I build a deck right now, I actually have spoiling something I might do. I've written, but I haven't written the musical portion, but I've written the lyrics to a new song about Meditating Mage. That's a fun little spoiler of pieces of content I might shoot tomorrow. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and do a quick little timeout here. There you go, buddy. Moving along. So checking that out, pretty cool. And but I thought here was where I got distracted for a second. And so check this out. I thought this was pretty interesting. Where the second thing we see here is they're all fine as they are. Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that kind of a bold take? And this is why I think balancing this game is so hard. Is the second most popular option is to just not do anything. Let Meditating Mage stay. Well, not my stay. Let Leticia stay and Ticia stay. Why only Northern Realms cards? Android subculture? Because Northern Realms was standing out as the faction that was causing the most disruption on the ladder. And cards like Tisaya, Leticia, Meditating Mage, and Alumni were enabling some very degenerate decks. Decks that could go down in card advantage and still win the game. Which is not really how Gwent was meant to be played. So I thought it was interesting. So I called them out, and that's why I said they're all fine as they are. I wanted to see what people are feeling out. And we go to the top comments, take a look. We got Mert Can I would add devotion tag for Meditating Mate. Or Meditating Mate. Meditating Mate. Yarr! It's the Meditating Mate Northern Realms deck. Meditating Mage. Bronze Resilience is actually Bronze Resilience so broken actually. We did see that. Mage should be nerfed, I think. Devotion, I think, is a really creative nerf. I really have come around on that. I originally wanted Deploy, but Devotion fixes all the Iteran stuff and is pretty darn cool. I really like it. I really like that idea. Let's see. Chaco Raju. I apologize in advance. Or I guess not in advance. It technically was afterwards. Let's see what you got. Alumni is one of the cards that's just going to slip by most people because of how insane Meditating Mage is. But in the long term, having a 6 provision bronze deal 7 or more damage consistently is a problem. And that is probably insightful. I do think it's Leticia that's enabling Alumni to be so unbelievably degenerate, but Alumni is very, very, very strong. You are not joking there. So I think you are paying attention to all the right things. Particularly and the reason I put out these cards, going back to Android subcultures questions, it's all about that. Can I go down in card advantage and win anyways? It's a little dangerous because then all of a sudden passing your, I don't know, you've overcommitted this round, I'm going to punish you, doesn't work anymore. And that's such a core part of Gwent's gameplay and what makes it fun. We'll see. I think Meditating Mage, Alumni, and Leticia all have issues. I think these three, Tisaya might be able to be fine as long as you balance the other cards that she enables. Moving up. Do you wish there were multiple card arts for the same card in the game? Oh, baby. I have so many strong opinions on this one, and so does the community. A near even split on the concept. A near even split with a slight favoring to yes. Check into the comments before I add in my thoughts. Maybe, but what level of work would be enormous? This is from Sab and Stefan. Maybe, but the level of work would be enormous. Gwent has the best art anyway, so I want them to keep it up and going. And then to Jeremy's point, I'll comment on both. Jeremy Rogers, having multiple art styles for the same card is cool, and all from a customization standpoint. But it comes to the downside of causing confusion for the player if they've never seen it before. It would be extremely bad for a botched critical turn because you lost a few precious seconds, needing to parse through which card an alternate art style represents. This would also make a card recognition learning curve even more difficult for newcomers to the game. And then edit, I wouldn't be opposed to it if they gave an option to disable them all, like another commenter suggested. So the option should probably default for disabled for the sake of newer players. Interesting. So for Jeremy's, let's start with Jeremy's. I don't think a card recognition is that big of a deal, though. The option is pretty cool. I like the idea. I like the plot twist. From whoever shouted, you know what? Forever shouted it out. Let's go find you. Hey, Sugo with the hotness. Sugo with the hot comment. Doesn't surprise me. Frequent commenter. Shout out to you, Sugo. It's a good idea. I think actually having a feature for that makes a lot of sense. The reason I brought this up, I don't think the level of work is enormous because it's a lot more work to bounce a card and such than pay for a new card art and put it into the store and see if it sells. And see if hey, you can get Geralt of Rivia in a suit for $2. Let's say it's $2. And from there, if it pays for it, let's say 5,000 people buy it, it generates $10,000 in revenue. As long as the card art costs you $10,000, you break even. So that catches my eyes in a really interesting way to monetize, because I think a lot of us would actually be willing to pay money, potentially, to have different card arts. Instead of Yennefer looking like a crazy mage, maybe you have Yennefer in a dress talking it up at a party, or Geralt in a suit, which I would really like. Vesemir with his carrot from the Easter egg, from Easter, when they put the carrot on fighting the griffin instead of just a sword. I think they could be really fun. But the reason I bring this up is cosmetics are a great way to monetize. And we've seen that with battle passes and like leaders. But also we've seen games like Magic the Gathering move heavily towards a much more cosmetic focused game where there's alternate arts like crazy. For every card, there's like 4 or 5 arts, and they've actually tripled down on that concept over the past year. I think there's an untapped, personally, the reason I toss it out there is I feel like there's an untapped possibility to monetize different artworks for cards that are popular and run with it. There is a learning curve. I think Jeremy is correct, but if you give them an option to disable it, or just you say, you know what? If you don't recognize a card, you read it anyways, and you say, oh, it's an alternate art for this card, you already know what it is. It's a very, very minor learning curve relative to adding new cards to the game. I think it's fascinating. And so, yeah, maybe it could be transformed like the art like Auburn, but not the effects. Exactly, Lionheart. What I'm saying is here, yeah, you got it right there. Pokemon has multiple artworks and special rares. In this case, multiple artworks. So, go over to the game real fast. See here. If we go to the game real fast, and like doobity-doo, chapter wizards, instead of being this stone bold place, it could also be the inside. Imagine it sounds like it's some kind of cool place where wizards gather. Hey, get inside. Let's see what's going on in there. A bunch of wizards can be chatting up, practicing some magic. And you could also go back and kind of justify redoing some of the art that might not have aged well. So let's cheat a little bit. Let's go to neutral faction. A lot of old art is there. Hey, look at Regis, right? Everyone loves Regis. What if we had an alternate form where instead of him being like a chill vampire dude, his hand kind of hanging here, all of a sudden it was like really in fight. Maybe he's fighting Geralt in this epic battle, and you can pay $3 or $5 to get that art instead, or have a super slim chance of opening it in a pack. So like, you would have a 1 out of every 100 kegs you get the alt art for, have a chance of getting an alt art, or same rarity as a legendary, something like that. It'd be very cool. It'd also make it so commons and like uncommons or epics could be really fun, and just make it for staples. Like for example, if I was going to call it a card or Neuromancy, the card art's classic, but it would be, given how often I run it, it'd be kind of cool to have some customization tools for this, so my decks feel different even if I'm playing the same card. Magic the Gathering has figured this out. And other games have figured this out as well. Other card games, as somebody, Pokemon, Lord of the Legends of Runeterra. But thank you, Twitch chat, pointed it out. I think there's an untapped possibility here, but there are some barriers. People are hesitant. It'll be interesting. But CDPR, if you're watching this, test this out, please. Please do. Next, another really interesting one. Do you want more music offered in future Gwent journeys? Their answer is overwhelmingly yes or indifference. And that's actually fairly okay. Indifference means if you have existing art or music you just shove in the game, you can put more of your time elsewhere into the other parts of the journey where people might not be indifferent. Likewise, yes, people want it. Good majority of people want it. Only 16% are uninterested in more music, and I kind of feel that. It's all copyright free. You can play it anyways. But I do like how the music syncs up with the opening. For me, I'm a big believer in yes. But this was interesting. I imagine we'll see more of it in the future. Depending on how much this pass sold, but putting in an extra track instead of a keg that's a nice reward. Let's see, Vortex. To be honest, the main reason I bought this journey was the music. Yes, I'm in the same boat as you. So I would definitely love to see new soundtracks, especially from The Witcher 3, included in the next journey. The only reason I personally bought this one was strictly for the music, because I listened to too much Gwent music in my day anymore. Jeremy Rogers, hey, coming in hot again. Let's see what we got. This is the first extended journey I've ever purchased, and the music was the primary motivation for me doing so. Wow. Solid, solid, solid. I like it. Let's see. Catch up with chat here. Cool veneer to show the cards in your deck around the lady. Oh, that'd be sick, but there's no way they're ever going to do that. Hallback J, wasn't art something that slowed the release of Gwent, though? I feel like I've heard this before. They had some issues of sourcing artists because they couldn't find like the Gwent, like the standard normal Gwent artists to make the cards. But if you branch out, if you're willing to go really bold and branch out art styles, you should have a very easy time finding an artist, Hollaback J. But at the same time, it might be that they will have a very particular style that they still want to keep in the game, even with fault arts, and it would be too problematic. So that also could be the case, Hollaback J. They could be capped out on that cosmetic aspect. Moving along. I hope there's more. Which do you hate more, Tunnel Drill or Meditating Mage? Once again, there's a lot of hate towards Meditating Mage. Tunnel Drill had a fair bit as well, but I'm sure people are sitting there wishing Tunnel Drill was here to reign in the Meditating Mage. And then 20%, once again, don't really hate either of them. I imagine these are players playing Tunnel Drill and Meditating Mage. Just kidding. But once again, we see that there is a real group of people in Gwent who are just pretty chill. They just say, you know what? Don't need to change the Northern Realms cards. Don't bother. 25%. 20% say, you know, I don't really hate Tunnel Drill or Meditating Mage. It's fascinating. Diversifying art styles might be unpopular by the community. Yes, Android subculture, but you don't know till you try. I would like CDPR to try something of art. Yeah, could you imagine how sick that would be, Rissikov? Cyberpunk Siri as an art choice? Or Cyberpunk Geralt? Or just put Johnny Silvers instead of Geralt of Rivia? Boom! That would be so cool. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Anyways. I'm a believer in it. Let's see what we got. Whenever I queue against Northern Realms and I see the first mage played, I just want to cry. Funny you didn't laugh. Good to see you back in the comments. And second, yeah, I feel your pain there. And the next comment, and Vizzy. I feel like Meditating Mage just really need their bonded to be deploy gain resilience. Not to change the order in their way. No spawning heaps and using Tsaya to abuse them. Of course, teleport would work then, but I think it's fine. Let's see. The plays for no tempo and slows down their plans. Just what I like to see. Vizzy, I feel that I think Devotion I'm becoming more interested in over this. This is my original take too. Deploy being the solution just to stop the spawn. But if you do Devotion, you can get rid of Iteran, and that is beautiful. Saves a lot of time, pain. So this was one I was really excited about. What are your current feelings towards patch 9.4? If we go back in time, you'll be able to see your day one feelings. I got to compare the two. Heck yeah. Comparison over time, about a week apart? Heck yes. So what are your current feelings? This was 2 days ago. And we have kind of a big swell here. We have over 40, nearly 50% of players like it or love it. A huge amount saying, it's fine. And under 20% don't like it or hate it. I think that's actually a really good sign. In my opinion, that means people are playing. Ultimately, CDPR knows the real play rate, so maybe this is all why. But I thought this was pretty positive. We can see, though, a drop, right? I love it dropping down a week later by 8%. I like it actually kind of went up a little bit, probably picking up some of the love it's. And like it went down, and then fine is where it really bolted up to. Sorry. Hard to hop between the two. That's a week ago. This is 4 days. Basically, short story is everyone started to move towards it's fine. Nobody else really increased though the hate category, which I thought that was really fascinating. Where it's just like, the people who are going to hate the patch didn't change. I mean, some people might have gone up and down, but there's a very small group that hate it. A little bit more dislike. For the most part, people think it's fine. They like it or they love it. A little bit less love as things settle down, but I don't think that's a surprise. The fun excitement of the craziness of day one of the patch is gone. Instant in the comments. Yeah, we're going straight to the comments. We are going to, we got the right one. Kevin in DHM. Another frequent commenter. Good to see you good to see you. Getting those thumbs up. Let's see. I'm still hoping for some kind of breakout. Unexpected decks to come out of nowhere and throw the meta for a curve. Seems barbelled to heavy greed or heavy control. That's kind of an interesting take. I think that's fair for the moment. I think things are starting to settle down as Nature's Gift is starting to rise. as that's a much more point slamish, a little less on the engines to help rein in some of the control decks. Let's see. It'd be nice if their competitive monster deck was able to use more than one of the newest cards. They suffered from the expansion model, how it really was a connected set broken into 3 parts. I don't think you're going to get that wish here, Kevin. Relics took a lot of nerfs to get to this point, and then everyone else caught up and then surpassed it. But Kelly exists. Kelly Sabbath, baby. That's all we got. Let's see. Freaky Bone X. Current mood. Hope for a good seasonal event every week. Play draft until then. Word on the street is your wishes are not granted. I'm sorry, friend. Moving along. We got 2 more to go. What's the best design faction in Gwent? So we have to kind of caveat it. I'm allowed 5 poll options, and as a result, I can't do them all. So I have to shove Northern Realms and Scoia'tael together, which I think are neither of them are like particularly known as well designed. So I just kind of clocked it together. So this is a chance that Scoia'tael is one of the most popular of 19%, and everyone hates Northern Realms, and vice versa. In reality, the best way, what I was trying to do here is really gauge what I thought what people considered the best design faction, and I was very surprised to see Skellige taking it. Now I agree. I think Skellige is the best in terms of design. It's very hard to deck build for them. There are so many cool synergies you can do between Witchers, Druids, Cultists, you name it. They bring the heat. But with that said, I think it's I didn't think it would be so commonly known, but people really like Skellige. People really like Nilfgaard. Monsters got a lot of respect too. I think this is starting to fall off a little bit for me. And I need some cards that can let me do some Wild Hunt Death Wish stuff. I need stuff that lets me do Arrakis Swarm. I need more Arrakis Swarm Death Wish. I need more stuff like that. I need some more cards that blur the lines to catch up to Skellige. Monsters is in a good place. Nobody likes Syndicate, and I really wish I could break out Northern Realms and Scoia'tael. I can't really make a good judgment here. Let's see. Catch up the chat here real quick. Large silver recliner. Once people find out what's meta, games start to become boring and predictable. A little bit more. That's fair. That's just nature card games. All right, got 2 comments here. We got Padger. Everything in Skellige gels nicely together. The different archetypes and packages flow into one another, and it can be hard to pin down what's the best leader ability at times, as they all are mostly viable. It's not a recent thing either. Skellige has felt synergistic across all of its cards since beta. Ooh, well said. Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. Then I go Rio. I adore Scoia'tael. I can see each card's motivations intensely in their arts and effects. I can't make much on a call for Scoia'tael here, but I really like this call out. The idea that arts are playing a part and are worth acknowledging. You got some solid recognition for that as well. And that definitely is a part of it. Having the right feel to artwork is really important. It's something clearly is valued, which is why on the earlier poll, when I brought up the artwork, the idea of alt arts, people were like, "Ooh, John, might be going too far." Art is key, and even the feel for like design of factions. I like it. And last but not least, this was this morning's poll. 4 hours in. What's your favorite shoot mode? Mage, followed by Knight, followed by Hunter. And then, unfortunately, though, even more popular than Hunter is I Hate Shoop. That is, hurts to see people hating Shoop, which is why Shoop probably should never be competitive. And it's clear that there is a large group of people who like the more competitive aspect of it, but Mage will always have my heart. I don't know about you guys in chat. Hurts to see so much Shoop hate. Couple quick comments. Mr. Perfection, good to see in the chat, or good not in the chat, but in the comments. Mage because of the yoink potential. Amen to that, baby. And if you missed that, you got to gamble with something else. It's super fun. And then we got Zeus the God Gaming. Shoot Mage is a little too risky, to be fair. Never really done me much good. Shoot Knight is always fun for resilience, sometimes lock. But Hunter is hands down brutal. Whenever I destroy an artifact or even luck out and turn it into tall removal, just beautiful. Ever a day Shoop deck for all factions. Lamau, Siege Shoop is underrated. I love it. Zeus the God, well said. I appreciate you recognizing the value of the Hunter. How Hunter sometimes can be like, oh, scenario, gone. 20-point card that you've been protecting all game, gone. Shoop Hunter has a lot of potential for just devastating games. I love it, love it, love it. Shoop haters out there, you're hurting my soul a little bit, but it is what it is. I think you can tweak the modes a little bit. I agree with you, Descon. Shoop option that should be changed a bit. Does duplicate weather effects, for example. Yeah, I think Hunter losing the weather portion of it could be fine. I also think that Mage probably needs one slightly better ability. It feels very swingy. I would like a something a little more situational, crazy, but kind of situational. Maybe instead of spawn 1 unit, spawn 3 units or something like that. Anywho, that's another Weeks in Polls. To all the YouTube fam, thank you so much for participating, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be keep on participating in next week's Worth of Polls. Twitch fam, go ahead and say goodbye to the YouTube fam. To all you people at YouTube, love that you're participating. Keep it up, and I'll keep the content coming. And I'll be seeing all of you soon. Take care. Shout out to Ahmed Ali McRandar and pseudonym 81 for their generous support on Patreon. Thank you all so much.